Hope you are all okay and you're doing all right. We had a lovely bead club last night. We were having a little chit chat in the class and we were doing some chainmail, which was really lovely. A couple of people finished already, so that's nice. I hope you're all doing okay. I'm just going to try and work out how to put on this silly phone. It's going to be one of those days, end of the week, eh? Right, so today we're going to be doing some memory wire. Now with memory wire, there's so many different things that you can do aside from just the norm, which is really lovely, and it's going to make it very versatile. These kind of adjustable bangles I've been making for a little while with you. I know that a lot of you have really enjoyed doing them, which is lovely, and I'm going to show you an extra little twist on them. Angela, yes, there is a bead club this morning. Because we started doing the Facebook Lives again at 10 o'clock, we've shifted it back a little bit. So rather than doing, oh gosh, what were we before? 9 until 11. Now we are 11 to, or is it 12 till 2? So the room will open up at 11. Good morning, Kitty. Oh, Kitty, I could do with you here. My phone's playing up already. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to put my phone on. So just wing it. I'm gonna have to move you guys down on my laptop. Let's try that. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, let's do that. 12 till 2, yes. So the room will open up at 11. Yeah, it's a busy old morning, this one, which doesn't go well when my camera's not working, but it'll be fine, no problem. Okay, so good morning everyone. Hi Jean, Lucy, Lorna, Angela, Joanne. I can see lots of you here. Camille says she needs girly. He's having a little nap. He's tired today. Good morning to Reza. Hi Dorothy. I'm sure you will hear the dogs at some point. Sorry about that. Good morning Katrina. A dull and foggy day in North London. Yeah, it's not great here. They say it comes in 3, Kitty. This is my 3, isn't it? So yesterday on the way to the studios, I had a blowout on my tyre. Then, what was the other one? Oh, everyone slept in because I wasn't here. So then Beth missed her mock exam. She can do it at any time, so that's fine. Okay, so then maybe this one is my 3rd one. And this one is my camera not working. Good morning, Debbie. Hi, Sandra, Paula, Joe. Lovely. I've got so many of you here. And sorry, my camera isn't starting. Oh, restart my phone. Okay, let's try that. We'll do that and we'll have a little chit chat for a minute. I love that I've got tech support on call as well. That's always helpful. Thank you. So let's restart this and we'll have a little go. Now I'm going to take you over whilst I do this, and this kind of just has a little moment and I can restart it. I'm going to take you to the website. Now my phone won't even turn off. What's that about? Let's call emergency husband for support. Hold on. John, can I borrow you? Can I borrow you? Okay, and then I'm going to take you through the website. Right, he's not an emergency husband, I should have said. It's husband in emergency. Although he did come and save me yesterday for my my little issues that I had with my tyre, bless him, he came down. Okay, so I'm going to... Oh, some of you have nice weather. How's that happening? Right, I'm going to take you to the website while we wait for my phone. And you can head over to the website. So totallybeads.co.uk, up in the topic categories, down to Facebook Live tutorials. And this will give you all of our lovely little sections. Now, where's today's gone? Oh my goodness me. What is going on? Right, here we go. Adjustable bangles. Can you please restart my phone? It won't connect to my laptop. And now I can't restart it. Thank you. So, adjustable bangles. These are going to be with our gorgeous agate beads. They're 6mm agates. You'll get a 15-inch strand. So you've got lots and lots of beads on here, which are going to be able to make multiple bangles. I reckon you could get probably 3 out of your sets. And we've got some of the most amazing, gorgeous colours. Great for spring, coming into summer, giving it that little pop of colour. Obviously, I'm going to use the coffee today. They are my favourite colours. We've got beautiful dark blues, fuchsias, olives, and you can see that every single bead, I also love the rainbow ones. I know you guys are absolutely loving your rainbow makes. 55 beads, and as you can see, each of them are going to be totally individual because they are semi-precious. It's going to be slightly vein detail, marble detail in them, obviously that we know agate for, which is really lovely. And then we've got the memory wire. Now there's two different thicknesses. I'm going to take you through both. I'm going to use the 0.8 today, which we need because it's moldable, and it's going to be great to actually work with. Some of you do struggle with your memory wire because it's a little bit thicker to use. So if you perhaps don't have the strength in your hands to be able to use them, then the 0.8 is going to be fantastic. 1 millimeter is that little bit thicker. That's going to be great if you want to do your wraparound loops, and I'll show you all of this in a sec. Then we're going to add a little bit more of a handmade finish, and I'm going to use the 0.4 millimeter wire for this, and I'll show you the bangle in a sec. You should have seen a picture in our little countdown. This is going to give you a really lovely wire wrapped technique that we can just showcase the beads. So pick the right coloured wire for the right colour beads that you're going for. Lots to choose from, amazing value for money. Yeah, Mina, the rainbow ones last week were incredibly popular, so I think the rainbow agate is going to be absolutely gorgeous. God, now I've got all the dogs coming in. So these are the bangles that we're going to make. Thank you, love. Okay, let's try this. Fingers crossed, everybody. Let's see. No. Oh, drat. Okay. Let me try one more thing. One more try. Ah! I got it. Thank you. Right, between Kitty and John, we've got it sorted. Oh, thank goodness for that. Okay, let's show you these bangles. Oh, everyone's saying good morning to Django as well, bless him. I know, just mulling around the house. Okay, so adjustable bangles. As you can see, what I've done is actually double layered the actual memory wire, and it gives you an adjustable bangle. So normally with memory wire, it comes in these sort of slinky forms, like so, and we would just wrap it around our wrist so that you end up with multiple little... Oh, he could come in and say hello. He's shy, Angela. So many times he'll come in to talk to me and then kind of just back slowly out the room, thinking, is the camera on? Have I come in? There were a few of them he's popped in for accidentally. So the memory wire will wrap around your wrist, so multiple layers, and I'll show you how to do that as well. And we're going to trim this down. Now, because it's memory wire, it is a tempered steel, so it's super, super strong. So again, if you don't really have that strength in your hands, go for the 0.8 millimeter wire. That is going to be... Oh, I know, Lorna, I am so rubbish with technology. And especially when you're live, you then get like this panic because you're all watching. It's even worse. Now use your memory wire shears. Now I use these cutters. I've had these for absolute donkey's years, and they're super strong. They're not they won't dent at all, but if you use some of your good pliers, they won't all be this quality. You will find you'll get like little divots just all the way along the blade because the memory wire is so strong it will dent it, and then they're going to be rendered useless. They're not going to cut again. So you want to excuse me, use your memory wire shears, or if you do have a set of cutters that you don't normally use and you want to test it, then that would be good, and then obviously you know that you've got a pair that you can use for it. So for the adjustable bangles, we're going to use 1.5 coils. So you can see I start up at the top, it's gone around on one full rotation and a half, and that's going to be good enough for the bangles. This makes it really nice because I like wearing lots of bracelets, but the bangles that wrap around, I don't like the ends on them. You normally just have to turn it with a loop, and I'll show you that in a moment as well. You normally just wrap them around and maybe put a little bead on the end. I like these because they're just a little bit more stylish, and of course being so adjustable, they will fit on anybody's size wrist as well, and it will go straight over. So bangles are normally one size, and sometimes if you have bigger knuckles, it's going to be harder to get on. I've got quite a wide hand but a teeny tiny wrist, so by the time I buy them big enough to go over my hand, they're really floppy on my wrist. So this is a nice way of doing it. Okay, so I'm going to take one end, and using my round nose pliers, I'm just going to make a little loop. So I'm going to take my quite near to the tip of my pliers. I'm going to take my wire only a few mil down from the top, and I'm going to roll this in the direction of the coil. Can you see I'm not holding it all in my hand? I don't want to dent it or mark it and mould it in a different way. So I'm just going to hold the one bit of wire against my pliers, and I'm going to give it a little roll. So I'm going to roll away from me, and I'm going to use my thumb to just encourage that down as well. So it's slightly different to when you're turning a normal loop. I'm going to create a loop just at the top, curve it down. Little movements are going to give me that little bit more control as well, as you can see. And then I've got my lovely loop. Now I want to straighten this up. You can see that at the moment it's curving all the way in. So I'm going to pop my pliers into the very middle, and I'm just going to give that a little knock back so that now it's straight. Then I'm going to use my flat nose pliers, and I'm going to bend it to 90 degrees. So I'm going to take that, just again using my thumb to mould it around, and I'm going to give it that little knock down. So now I've got my loop sitting nice and flush underneath it, like so. And then we're going to add our beads on. Now I've got the coffee agate, which I absolutely love. It is my all-time favourite. The bangles are like the bracelets bought for babies' christenings. You're right, I've got one of those. I wasn't christened, I had a dedication, but you're right, it's like those little adjustable bangles. My mum still has all of ours, which is really nice little keepsake. So you can see that every single bead is going to be individual. They've got the most gorgeous finish to them, and I just thought they look really nice with the wire as well. It's kind of the raw natural finish. Might give this a bash, says Elaine. Just got some memory wire, must be psychic. You are prepped and ready to go. So you can see you've got gorgeous colours. These are all my colour palettes, and I think I love that with the agate because it's not just one colour. You're going to get all those lovely effects, and I'm only going to need about half a bangle's worth. Now you can add on as many or as little beads as you would like. Now when we've done these adjustable bangles in the past, we've added on about half a coil of beads. Can you see that I'm keeping the coil in my hand? I'm not stretching it out. I'm keeping it in its curve because I don't want to stretch it. I don't want to make it any bigger. Just using the end as a needle, like so, and just picking up a random little assortment. I'm not worried whether I go darker or lighter. I'm just picking them up as I look at them. And when we've done these memory wire bangles in the past, as you adjust them and as you spring them open, the beads will move. So what we're actually going to do today is by using our 0.4 millimeter wire, I've got my 0.8 memory wire, I'm going to use the accent colour to bind it all into place as well. So you want about half a coil of your beads. Now we're going to thread this through the little loop that we created. So this is the only time we're going to stretch it out. Open it up and take that memory wire through the loop that we created, and then I'm going to bring that all the way up to the top. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can either create your loop now, or you can wrap it with your wire first of all. I'm going to finish it and then we'll add on our wire. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of space for that. If you find that, and this is where you can adjust it, if you wear a bigger size, go for slightly more than a coil and a half, and you can actually stretch this out and make it a bigger size, plus then you're going to have the adjustable as well. And you can see that by keeping a circle, it will still go to a really large size. So if you don't wear smaller bracelets, then you can obviously adjust it in that way, but also you can make them smaller. So again, if you have tiny, teeny wrists like me, you can also make it a lot smaller, which is great. So I'm just going to keep this as a standard size, Might make it a little bit smaller actually, because I do prefer them a little bit tighter. And therefore, I'm going to cut some of this extra wire off. Now you need to leave about 1 centimetre for your loop. So I'm just going to lose a little bit here as it pings across the room. We were talking about that last night while we were pinging jump rings across. Now, I'm going to create a loop on this end as well. So I'm going to take, again, just a few mil down from my pliers and create a little loop. Give it a little wrap around. Tiny little movements are going to make it nice and simple. And again, because it's facing inwards, I'm just going to knock that back ever so slightly, just so that it straightens it up. And I'm going to knock it down to my 90 degrees so that it's facing down. So what you'll have is on this side, your loop will be facing up. On this side, my loop is facing down. So you just want to do them in the opposite direction. And then we're going to open this up. I'm just going to make sure that it's at 90 degrees so that it sits really nicely like so. And then I'm going to use my pair of pliers just to open it up exactly the same as we would a jump ring. So I'm holding with my round nose pliers on one side, twisting it open, and that wire will go inside it. And then using my pliers to close it again, just like a jump ring. So grab hold of that and twist it shut. Now there's our adjustable bangle. So it's going to open up like so and fit on just like a nice bangle. Now these beads I want to add some wire wrap to. So I'm going to take my wire, 0.4, and I'm going to do this one in gold. I really like the fact that you can mix your metals. It's quite on trend, especially when you're using mixed beads. You can pick up all sorts of different colour tones in them as well. I would love, and I should have ordered it from the warehouse, the purple with the gold would be absolutely beautiful. Could make special birthday bangles with birthstones on and a heart charm. That would be gorgeous. I'm going to show you how to add charms in a moment as well. Now then, wire wrapping. I'm going to take my wire and first of all I'm going to attach it onto the bangle and then we'll wrap the beads. So what this will do is actually keep them all in place, just like so, and it will stop this movement in any of the gaps. So I'm going to take a little tail, and holding the tail, you can either go towards you or away from you. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to wrap this underneath, and you'll see because it's the 0.4mm wire, it's very flexible. And I'm just going to pull it in as tight as I can to the bangle. We were doing these little coils when we were making our hearts, our rainbow hearts on Monday. So you should hopefully be getting pretty good at these. And then if they are separated like so, you can just push them in. You can do it either with your pliers or with your hands, and that's going to give you a lovely wire wrap straight onto the bangle. Now I want the wire to be finished nice and flush, so I'm going to take my flush cutters, cut in as near to the memory wire as I can, and then we're going to use our pliers just to pinch that in. So you'll see the techniques that you learn within these videos and just generally in jewellery making can be used for so many different things. So something that we've used to create a home decor hanging heart, then now we're going to use in our bangles. So it's really functional for so many different techniques. Now we're going to wrap the actual stones just to give them a little bit more of a handmade finish. So I'm going to go above my first stone, and then I'm holding the bead so that that wire will stay on top of it. And then I'm going to bring it up and over the actual bangle and pull it in nice and tightly so that I can secure it with a little loop in the very middle. And then I'm going to go around the base of the next bead. And again, I'm holding the bead up on top so that that wire will stay around the bead. You also want to make sure that you're pushing it as near to the previous bead as you can. And then again, now this time I'm going to go underneath and up. So each time you're just switching it over, and then push your beads up, and that will give you a perfect coil in between them. So I'm just squashing that down and condensing it in. And again, up and over the next bead, around the bangle itself, and pushing it down. Under the next, Again, my thumb is keeping that wire in place. And you can see you start to get this gorgeous wave across all of the beads. If any of them twist, we can correct that and fix it afterwards. But then it's just going to showcase and highlight some of these beads with a natural little wave. I think it's really nice because a natural stone, you're just going to highlight some of that vein detail by picking up some of the colours. I would pick, you could do a contrasting, or you could do a matching colour to your beads. For example, a blue wire with the blue agate, maybe a purple or a gold wire with the purples. They're going to look really gorgeous. And I'm making this one as a mixed metal one. So I've got my silver bangle and then my gold wire. And then that's going to go with so much more of my jewellery as well. And a mixed metal one is great to do if you're gifting or selling and you don't know what metal colour the recipient actually wears, then you can do a mixed one like this. So you can see it's just going to give you a lovely little finish. Victoria's just saying that the rainbow beads have been taken out of her basket before she got to check out. I will ask you just to email into the warehouse if you've got any problems with your orders. Just give the warehouse an email and Simon will be able to fix it for you, I'm sure. It might be that they're out of stock. I do hope not. Cannot keep rainbow things in stock, can we? I think a rainbow one would be absolutely gorgeous. And of course you can do this with any beads, but I just think that the agate gives it that little special finishing touch. Just keep on condensing these down. That happened to me, but went in later and they were back in stock. Yeah, Victoria, just try again. Try again, pop them in your basket and we'll see. Maybe it was just a glitch. Technology is not my friend today, so maybe it's going for you too. The wire question, the wire strong enough to use 8, 10 or 4mm gemstones? If you're going to use bigger stones, so heavier, I would go for the 1mm memory wire. So I'm using 6mm here, so they're not very heavy. Obviously I'm only using half a coil as well, half a coil's worth of beads, so I haven't got loads in here. I would suggest if you are going for a larger bead, go for a 1mm. Obviously with beads like these, the holes in the beads are 1mm. They would go onto a 1mm thickness of wire. Oh, the rainbow one is showing as out of stock. Thank you for letting us know, Julie. With things like this, you've got to be quick, I'm afraid. I know that Simon and Kitty will go and check, or if Kitty's at home, I know Simon will go and check the stock. And if we do have more, it will be loaded on. So just keep an eye over the next kind of hour or so, I guess. And if we have any, it will go in. Okay, so now that I am at the very end, I'm going to move these around so that they are in the very middle of my bangle. Now, it's a little bit harder to move them, of course, because it's now all coiled in. Just shift it all along so that it's going to go into the very middle so that I can then secure this on. That's better. So now you can see I've got my beads all held into place and they're not going to move. As I start to adjust it, because they're now all bound together, it's going to keep them all in place, which again is really nice. It's just a professional finish. With your other memory wire bangles, the beads are moving around. It's still fine, but I just think this is a lovely decorative way to secure them into place. Is the 4mm wire to make the bangle? No, the 0.8mm memory wire is what I'm using for the bangle. Thank you, Lucy. They are now showing as in stock. So the rainbow mixed agate is back in stock. So if you need those, hop on over quick sticks before we lose the next lot. 0.8mm wire is the bangle, and then my 0.4mm wire is what I'm using to wrap my beads. Now I want to secure my wire at the very end, the same as we did at the beginning. So we're going to do those mixed, sorry, I'm reading about mixed agate. I'm going to do those lovely little coils. So 3 or 4 to finish at the end, and just make sure that now I can't push any other beads onto it. I'm just going to use my finger, so I'm securing into place. I'm bringing it around the back. I tend to switch from my thumb giving all the strength up at the top, and then my index finger giving it the strength at the bottom. So I do tend to switch over my fingers, so you can see my thumb is guiding it at the top, and then I'll pull it along and push it in with my index finger. I think I've got the same amount of coils. We'll do one more just to even it up, just to make sure. And just as you're also pulling that wire, just make sure you're not kinking your memory wire either. You'll see that I don't ever really hold the materials in any other place. I'm all just keeping it condensed down to the one area I'm working on, and that will limit you moving the memory wire and bending that at all. So you can see these little bits of wire we don't want, because they're going to be scratchy. So just take your flat nose pliers and we're just going to pinch that in. So I'm using little pincer movements as I am rotating it all around, and that will hide those little sharp bits of wire, moulding it all around. Now if your coils aren't tight enough and your wire is still moving, your beads are still moving and it's sliding around, you can actually take your flat nose pliers and squash those first coils. That's just going to take your coils and hug it around the wire. It's just going to tighten that up a little bit more for you. If you can't quite get it in tight enough. And then look at that, you've got these beautiful waves going all the way around the beads. And you can at this point just double check. So obviously I've rotated that one around a little bit, just like we did when we made our beaded cages. I'm just using my fingers just to sit them on either side of the beads, just making sure, because you can see like this one has come along. Just going to nudge them back into place. And that will also tighten up some of that wire. I think it's really gorgeous, and it just gives you that lovely showcase around the beads. It just highlights them all, doesn't it, and gives it that lovely flow. Oh, thank you, Alison. She says it's fabulous. With all your extra fingers, you make it look so easy. I am very used to working with wire, and you do end up using all of your fingers to make sure that everything is all in place. But they are super easy to make. And now, of course, I've got that adjustable bangle, but none of my beads through the centre are going to move either. Now, if you want to, you can also add some lovely charms on. So you can coil your beads around some head and eye pins. Let me just grab some. I'm going to go for gold jump rings and gold head pins, because I'm doing that mixed metal. So the memory wire, you can actually get memory wire in different colours, but because they're plated, you will find sometimes that it comes off. It's just not as sturdy and durable as the raw wire. So the majority of the time you'll get it in silver. I like mixing my metals, so we're going to go for this. I'm going to use 4mm gold jump rings and also my gold head pins. And then we're just going to turn some loops. Now, turning loops on pins are a lot easier than doing it on memory wire. I'm just going to... Does anyone else break the loops when making them, or am I just too heavy-handed? Joanne, it might be your pliers. Have you got good quality pliers? You don't have to be too hard with memory wire. I can't say that I break the loops on them, so you must be giving it a good old strength in there. Double check your pliers. They should be nice and smooth, no dents, nice and delicate. You want to make sure that you've got kind of the right tools for the job. If they are a bit too cumbersome, oh, you bought my set, well then they're lovely. I would say just perhaps loosen some of that grip. You can get memory wire in 0.5mm. For me, that's just a little bit too fine to use for memory wire. It doesn't hold its shape as well as a 0.8 or a 1mm. 0.5 for me, great for moulding certain things and creating lovely circles, maybe for earrings and things like that, but As a bangle, you need something that's a little bit sturdier. So I would say also increase the thickness of your memory wire. Question, how do we stop these tarnishing and how do we clean it if they do tarnish? So you can actually get little jewellery polishing cloths. They work really well to remove tarnish. With things like this, because we are mixing metals, so I'm adding my memory wire, the loops, the pins. When you start mixing metals, they will tarnish quicker. So there are a few tips just to make sure. Yeah, 0.6, Joanne, I think that's too fine for you. Go up to a 0.8 or a 1, and I think you'll find that they will stop breaking. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Make sure that you don't get them wet. Make sure that you clean or dry your jewellery. You know, if you're washing your hands and such like, try to limit things like hand creams getting onto them, perfume if you spray that onto your wrists. All these kind of things are going to help keep your jewellery for longer. And also, all these little bags that we send you your goodies in, reuse them all. So the majority of your goods and orders will come in these plastic bags. And rather than just chucking them away, of course, we want to recycle as much as we can. When you're not wearing your jewellery, keep it in these airtight bags. So keep it like this, seal it up, and then pop that in your jewellery box or in your drawers, wherever you keep everything. That will also prevent, and just squash that air out, that will also prevent them tarnishing so quickly because you're creating that air seal, especially with your metal pieces, chainmail, head and eye pins, any of your charm pieces, and of course your memory wire. Use all of those bags. Okay, creating a loop on a pin. So I've bent my pin to 90 degrees directly above my bead. I think I was doing it all while I was talking, so I didn't talk you through. I use my fingers just to bend them. So I will hold the bead directly above in place and then bend it to 90 degrees directly above. If you haven't got the strength in your hands, add your bead on. Take your round or flat nose pliers to the top of your bead and then knock it to the side. You might find it easier to hold the bead above and just mould the pin around the top of the plier. But you'll see that it does leave you, because of course your plier is there, does leave you a tiny little extra lip, which you wouldn't have if you're doing it with your hand. Then thumb at the bottom, so that's going to prevent my bead from moving. I'm using a head pin, so it has that flush finish. If you use an eye pin, that's going to make your beads connectable top and bottom. So for charms, we add that flush finish at the bottom, a head pin. So my thumb is going to hold that pin in place. My bead is going to be rested on my finger and my pin is facing up to the ceiling. I'm then going to take, because I've got a centimetre, I want what's deemed as a standard size loop, and I'll show you on an eye pin in a moment. In fact, I'll show you now so that you know exactly where to put it. Take an eye pin, and this is really important. We're doing some lovely earrings next week, and I'll show you all about turning loops, but we'll cover it very quickly now. Take your eye pin, so the difference between your eye pin and your head pin, connectable loop, flush finish. Pop your eye pin onto your pliers, and that will give you the depth of your plier to create the size of loop. So you could mark that with a little pen, little Sharpie pen, just to give you that depth. Then you're going to take your pliers, holding that pin and no wire poking out at the top, as flush as you can go. And then with a flat wrist, I'm going to start and turn it away, let go and turn back, and all the way down until I meet my bead, like so. And then that size of loop should be, if all is going well, exactly the same size as the eye pin loop, because it was the same depth on my pliers. I'm just going to straighten this up a little. Can you see that it's just gone a little bit wonky? So I'm just going to use my flat nose pliers, not cut back ever so slightly, and that's going to give me my lovely loop. And I'm going to attach these on with my jump rings. You can add as many charms onto these as you want. If you love that movement in your jewellery, you love like the noise of charms and the little jingle jangle that they make as we wear them, add on as many charms as you would like. And we're going to loop them all onto these pins and use our jump rings to attach them on. Now when I do my earrings with my loops. I've got a feeling that's on Monday. I will have a little look in a sec. Didn't bring my diary in with me. We're going to do an entire 101 on turning loops. So if this is something that you would like to know more about, I'm going to be doing that when we make some lovely earrings with our head and eye pins. Okay, so my loops are now all ready. I'm going to use my jump rings to attach them on. So I'm going to take a jump ring, holding it with a pair of pliers. I'm going to twist it open. I always take my dominant hand towards me, and then I'm going to add on one of my charms, and I like to go through both of my wires on my memory wire bangle. You could just go on to one, but I actually find that it holds it into place and condenses it down a little bit as well. It just makes it look that little bit more finished. So on one of them, I'll go through both. On this one, I'm only going to go through the bottom one. And this is also going to give me that little bit more movement. So these ones are going to slide a little bit easier and a little bit more freely than the ones that go around both of them. Plus, it's just going to give me that slight difference in length. And then I'm going to take my last one, and I'm using a 4mm jump ring on here. And because I went bottom, both, I'm going to go top on this one. And that's just going to give me some nice little charms to add onto the bottom. You could add metal charms and all sorts as well. You could even fill as much of this as you would like, because they're just going to slide around and be free moving. But then when you actually open up your bangle, you can see that it will, if you add too many, it's going to slightly prevent you from opening it all the way. So just be cautious if you want to make it really big, then not to add too many along here, because they'll squish down. But as you can see, because it's only on the jump rings, they will become quite small. So it's a really lovely bangle. You can even wear sets of them as well that look gorgeous. And use some of your coloured wires as well. Remember, on the website we've got some beautiful colours. If you want to do something really colourful and fun, which I think we all need at the moment, then some of your rainbow beads, your agate, and some of your wire is going to do that for you. Really lovely finish, and actually very simple to make. Really hope you enjoyed it. I'm so sorry for the techie issues at the beginning, but I'm glad we got there in the end. And do share your pictures of your bangles as well. I'd love to see what you're making. They're so comfortable and lovely to wear, and because you've got your wire wrapping, those beads are going to stay in place. That's me sorted for the day. Now, if you are part of our bead club, we will be starting our Friday morning class. The room will open, we do it all via Zoom. The room will open at 11 o'clock and start teaching 12 until 2. If you would like some more details on our bead club, head over to the website beadclub.co.uk. This is what I'm making this morning. So we are doing a chainmail pendant housing a beautiful stone. These are what we were making on our Thursday night class last night. Hopefully the ladies really loved it. They certainly said they all did. We had a good giggle. And this is what we'll be doing this morning. We do the 2 classes, Thursday evening, Friday morning. So hopefully somewhere you can actually find a time slot that suits you. Katrina says, love these. Huge thanks, Sarah. You are more than welcome. Sarah, please say Charlotte Arellano. Thank you so much for the stars. Charlotte, I'm guessing you sent Kitty some stars, and she's saying a huge big thank you. I want to see some pickies. So thank you, Charlotte, from Kitty. Thank you so much, Sarah. Lovely tutorial as always. You are more than welcome. Oh, Lucy, you're in the class in a minute, aren't you? She says, I'm so scared to try and attempt this. Do not worry. It's actually a very simple one. I think some of the ladies last night were quite surprised at how easy it was. They were a little bit chainmail scared, but don't be. I'll see you right. Thanks for the demo. Take care all and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Paula. You guys too. Stay safe. Now, I will be back with you on Monday. Remember that since we are in the new lockdown, we have brought back all of our Facebook tutorials. We will be here every day at 10 a.m. So you can go onto the section of the website, see all of our past makes. There will also be a link to the product and also a link to the video. So if you don't want to scroll through the Facebook page, do remember, if you share the video, it will also save it onto your homepage on Facebook. So if there are some that you kind of want to bookmark and save, you can also do that too. I'll be back on Monday. I'm doing every Monday and Friday. Sarah Payne is doing a Wednesday and a Thursday. I think she's flip-flopping the Thursday with Kitty, and then Kitty will be with you for the rest. On Sunday, we've got our gorgeous community day. I absolutely love it. So we actually bring in, or Kitty brings in, so we, royal we, Kitty actually brings in somebody from our gorgeous community to have a look at all the makes that you've been doing, how you got into beading, if there's any other crafts that you do. It's a really lovely video on a Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, so make sure you don't miss that. Can Thursday night also join Friday lunchtime? I missed the beginning last night. Dorothy, if you are a member of Bead Club, you'll be able to go onto the Facebook page and watch the playback. If you're not a member, do get in touch with Kitty, and I'm sure we could probably sort you having that first section of the video as well. So if you're a member of beadclub.co.uk, it's a subscription service. You'll get all 4 classes every week. There's also a private Facebook page whereby you can watch that video over and over again, keep on playing it through, and recap your class as well. So head over to beadclub.co.uk for more details on the classes that we've got coming up every Thursday or every Friday. Thank you so much for your company this morning. Hope you've enjoyed your bangles. Can't wait to see some of your pickies on the Facebook group, and I will see you all on Monday. Have a lovely weekend. Take care and stay safe.